Today we took out 5 individuals from the Maui Bird Conservation Center, 2 females and 3 males, and then they're going out in the aviary together, and the hope is that they will stay together as a social group for maybe 6 to 12 months, and then they will pair off and set up their own home ranges separately. ʻAlalā are part of not only every part of the forest and every part of the Hawaiian Islands, but also completely interwoven into Hawaiian culture. Their absence in the forest is a huge void.
That manu ʻAlalā, or any of our hulu kupuna, our manu, will always need that cultural insight and that foundational platform in the work that's done here. Understanding that those voices of the manu, that's how we get our voices of leoli, our pule. They come from the natural elements of our world. That reverb, that vibrational tones, they understand, and we understand, and that's our common language. And sometimes this particular kind of work of caring for them here in a space that allows them to thrive and grow and be strong, and give them the platform to be able to lele, to fly, that work is just as important. They're caring for that voice of that ancestor, so that one day we can have many of those voices return.
When you put birds in a captive environment, even though you are trying to give them enrichment and care for them the right way, they're not doing all the things they need to do in the wild. And so, these birds are a bit naive, and they have to relearn those behaviors that came generations before them when their great-great-grandparents were in the forest. After 3 or 4 weeks, we will open the doors to that aviary, and then they will have access to the larger forest. Each of the birds have 2 different kinds of transmitters on them that we can track with VHF radio signals as well as satellite signals. The fact that everything went so smoothly this morning and that we were able to hand the birds off to the field team is really exciting. We also have to be prepared that it might not work. Sometimes these reintroductions take several different, cohorts of birds to be able to figure out how to really establish them in the wild. So there's that little bit of sadness as well that we're sending them out there on their own, even though we're still caring for them. But this is, the first huge step in having ʻAlalā in the wild on Maui, which is fabulous.
I look forward to future generations here on Maui being a part of this program, so that we can all collectively understand that it is our kuleana, it's our responsibility, but it's also a very big honor to be a part of that responsibility. Whew. Yeah, look forward to that.
Historically, ʻAlalā are known from dry and semi-dry forests on Hawaiʻi Island, and they have ancestors who lived on Maui as well. When it came to choosing a location to release birds here on Maui, a lot of stuff had to be considered. And among them are impacts on other endangered species, as well as what's the appropriate habitat for ʻAlalā on this island. Our site sits right on the edge of a mesic to wet forest, and the ʻAlalā in this release cohort are going to have access to a wetter forest just nearby. As you go upslope and you go more to the windward direction, it becomes a lot wetter, and those habitats also have more of the native plants, more of the native fruits, which the ʻAlalā are known to forage on. And because ʻAlalā are known as a historically really important seed disperser and playing an important ecological role in Hawaiian forests, we wanted to find a place that would be suitable for them where they could find those fruits and engage in those behaviors. Part of the strategy of releasing a juvenile cohort is to take advantage of the cohesion of that group and their ability to associate and make pair bonds as they age. So by releasing them now, we have time for them to still work as a team and eventually come to be more territorial.
One of our hopes is that when they're released, because these are young juvenile birds, that they will stick together, watch each other and learn from each other. But aside from those behavioral criteria, all of these birds are in very good health. We've provided them with conditions so that they can really build up all of their flight muscles so that they can move easily from tree to tree and exist outside of an aviary setting. In general, when we go and do our daily observations, what we're mostly looking for is signs of stress and general health and well-being. So when I go in and watch them, I'm looking to see, are they bright, are they alert, are they responsive, are they moving around, has their personality changed from what I'm used to? We do really quick checks looking at their eyes to see if there's anything there, their beaks, if there's anything abnormal, their feet, and then their vent. And these are all spots that at a quick glance you can kind of gauge whether or not there's some sort of issue going on. Between me and the other staff, we did a very quick exam on her. We assessed her keel, which is where the flight muscles attached to see the level of muscle that she had there. We assessed her fat levels, which are low, but that is a typical health condition for these birds, is they just generally don't hold on to fat. I checked her wings, her feet, her eyes, the interior and exterior of her beak. I palpated her joints to see if there was any sort of swelling. And I checked her crop area because they're wearing these harnesses that their little transmitter backpacks attached to see if it was maybe impinging on her crop. And we found no evidence of that. And in general, overall, she was in very good condition, aside from that weight drop and the behavioral changes.
We understand how valuable ʻAlalā are as a cultural resource as well as a biological resource. You know, they play a huge role in Hawaiian culture, just as much as of a role as they do in the Hawaiian forest. Those two things are linked. And so it's an honor and a responsibility to participate in this work. And the collaborative spirit of all the people involved is a really important part of the success of these kind of projects. And so a big goal of ours is working together, knowing that some of these challenges are really difficult to overcome. And of course the species was so close to being completely extinct that it's really a precious thing that we're trying to save. And we're hoping that if we can get down the road of recovery for ʻAlalā, that everyone can celebrate that.
All of these birds just deserve to have a home. And as much as we strive at our center to provide them with the best possible conditions, this is the home that they deserve. So opening those doors and seeing these birds flying free just meant so much to me. I hope that from here on, every single bird that is born at our centers will one day have the chance to exist in a place like this. Even though we think of the birds as being from the Big Island, this could also be their home.